Okay, the second part that we're going to build is actually the same part but built using a different method, using subtractive modeling. So I'm going to go up to the File tab, do a new part, a different way to open a file. I'm going to select Start a Sketch again. Whoops, probably don't want to do that. Probably best practice again, sometimes I get into the habit, is to do a Save As. I'm going to wipe out my part from last year, subtractive modeling. And now I'll go in and start my sketch. So I'm going to start on the XY plane again. And this time we're going to do entirely subtractive modeling. So I'm going to start with a rectangle that is 2.25 inches. In order to get to the other dialog box, I'll hit the Tab key. And you'll see that the other dialog box is now highlighted 1.5 inches by 2.25 inches. And next, I can finish the sketch, and I'm going to extrude it a full 1.5 inches. Okay, so I'm starting with like the original full-size block, and then from that sketch, or from that block, we're going to cut away some material now. So this time I'll also use the line tool, and this time instead of doing dimensions, I think I can get most of this without many dimensions. You'll notice as I hover and hit the midpoint, that's specific geometry that's already there. So I can hit the midpoint, the end point, the end point, the end point, and I need to come across 1.5 inches. So there, I am going to dimension that on the fly. I'm going to make sure I go up 0.75 inches and connect that. So now you can see I have a fully constrained L-shaped sketch that I'm going to cut some material away. So I can go ahead and finish the sketch, extrude, and I'm going to extrude 0.75, and I'm going to change to the cut option, and then might mean I have to flip my direction so you can see a preview of what's happening. So this time, this is probably a little bit less efficient way of building it because it's going to take me 3 steps to model this part then. So now I'll do a sketch on this other face here. And again, I could probably just use the rectangle tool. And put in a 0.75 by 0.75 square. I'll go ahead and extrude again, and this time cut. The best practice when you're cutting, you could put a distance in, but when you're cutting all the way through, best practice is to pick cut all. So I'll go ahead and cut, and there is the same part built a different way with subtractive modeling.